Okay guys, I'm coming at you again, this time with something really stupid about Michelle Obama. Of course you're going to see that from the title because Michelle Obama's stupid. Just don't tell any black woman it's that. They'll all get mad at you. But anyway, Michelle Obama said something completely ridiculously stupid about the GOP at some type of women's conference apparently. I watched a clip on Instagram today. I thought it was really stupid, and I just found a video right now. Anthony Brian Logan says some stuff about it. He's usually my go-to guy when I need an explanation. When I need an explanation, we're not going to go through the entire explanation, but he's going to roll a clip. So let's listen to what he has to say.
In Philadelphia, that was yesterday, Tuesday, October the 3rd, 2017. And it got a lot of comments. It's really hot over there right now, so I'm really going to get into it and see what it was all about. I've skimmed through some of the most important parts because I've seen clips uploaded here and there. The whole thing is an hour long. If you have a little bit of time, or you're going to torture yourself or whatever it is, you can watch that in the description box below. But I'm only going to show about 10 minutes of it right here because these are the most shared portions of it that I've been able to find on social media. Some really interesting things that were said here, to say the least. So what we're going to do right now is go ahead and start it from the beginning. As you can see, I got my green screen behind me. So we're going to be doing some letting it run, and then I'll pause it at certain points to give my 2 cents to elaborate on the point she made, or to disprove or debunk a point she made. So without further ado,
dang it, the freaking thing stopped. Come on, buddy. Come on. I need you to work for me, man. You're in a position to work. I know the signal isn't good. Oh, crap. Hold on. Oh, damn it. Yeah, hold on. I got it fixed.
To give my 2 cents to elaborate on the point she made, or to disprove or debunk a point she made. So without further ado,
go ahead and move. Go ahead and damn it. Son of a bitch. It stopped again. Dang it, I'm trying to get a good audio clip for this, and once again, it just dies. Okay, so until the video loads, I'll give you basically the rundown of a really stupid thing she said on this. She said something about how she was embarrassed when, during her husband's State of the Union addresses, she said one side of the aisle was all white and all men. Like that's supposed to mean anything. And that the other side was a few women and a few people of color and blah blah blah, that type of stuff, the usual race-bait language. So Michelle Obama hasn't really been helping the racial divide at all. Of course, this also comes on the heels from, I think it was about a week ago today, that she said something really stupid about if you were a woman who voted for Trump, you voted against your own voice. Yeah, she actually said that. So if you were a woman with a different opinion, or you just didn't like Hillary Clinton and you voted for Trump out of spite for her, that you're somehow against all women, even though there is actual legitimate cases for women not to like freaking Hillary Clinton, okay? She is a horrible human being, possibly one of the worst political actors in history, and top that off, Benghazi, and also is a rape apologist, while also being some type of supposed defender of sexual assault victims, which just simply isn't the case. She's a bitch. Okay? And Michelle Obama really isn't playing well with the identity politics of the nation right now. She is helping. If she's doing anything, it's helping worsen the divide right now. Because of her saying the stupid shit, saying that, oh, just because State of the Union address and blah blah blah, like there was a bunch of white guys on one side and not on the other. Like that's supposed to make the country feel better or something. Like I don't get what she's trying to do here. And honestly, to me, I think she's just trying to keep herself relevant at this point. she may be wanting to plan a 2040 run, not 2040 run. That's when her daughter will think would be legal enough to do it. But she might be planning a 2020 run with this type of nonsense. But of course, she'll have to compete against Kamala Harris and stuff. All right, let's try it again.
Go ahead and roll it.
There we go.
Do you think that women in general have less chances to fail? You know, you fail once, people start labeling you faster than they label a man ever.
Absolutely. I think that's true for women, minorities. I think the bars.
No, okay, if anything, it's more stereotypical to be a white guy who fails, because the majority of homeless people are white guys. I just got guys, white people in general, they are more homeless than Black Americans or Hispanic Americans, right? So I don't know what she's saying, that if you fail as a minority, you're automatically labeled some type of something. And I'm just like, okay, that doesn't make much sense to me. Sounds like I really think she's now trying to become the winner of People's Choice for most idiotic things said at the Grammy Awards, but for Democrats. Alright, there were some pretty stupid things said at the Grammys. So anyway, let me continue on with that.
Different.
Okay, let's stop it right there. Straight from the beginning. That doesn't really make any sense.
I told you. Even Anthony Brian Logan says that it doesn't make much sense. And I forgot where he lives. I think he lives in Louisiana or something. But anyway, yeah, he basically had the same thoughts about it. That really doesn't make much sense. Alright, it's just, I don't get what Michelle Obama's really playing at here, and quite honestly, I'm just a little freaked that she might have some type of freaking problem with her head. I'm kidding. Alright, I'm not gonna say just because he said some stupid shit like everybody else is with Trump that she's all of a sudden some type of mentally ill person. Alright, that's simply not true. Okay, yeah, I'm sure she's a somewhat intelligent person. Honestly, not the most intelligent person if you can come up with that kind of logic, but I mean, she is somewhat of a doctor. No matter how much you let she let her company use basically give her a pay raise without doing anything, because that actually happened before. Just as her husband Barack Obama was getting his political rise, she got a raise from her hotel, her hospital that she worked at, basically for doing nothing. That's basically what happened. And this is one of the things that, if it were a dude on the Republican side whose wife got paid by her hospital for doing basically nothing, they'd be getting so much shit from the mainstream, not only the mainstream media, but from like these womanist people, from the intersectionality crowd. There'd be so much backlash for that person, but she doesn't get anything. She's just so filled with wealth and grace, and is like a symbol that the country needs to get behind somehow, because she just can't come up with consistent logic, just like we can't. Woohoo! Let's be assholes to each other even more. She's stupid. It's like, I can't see why, and honestly, if I were Barack and I heard that shit, even I would be astounded. But then again, if I were Barack, I'd probably say something a lot stupider, because Barack is Barack, and he would overload my brain functions to use his brain functions, and his brain functions wouldn't let us do anything. He'd do his normal callback to the supposed racist era of George W. Bush, which was, it's George W. Bush's fault that everybody's in a terrible place right now, and blah, 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 blah. And then also is that, cops are racist, let me bash on them while I'm standing over their graves at Dallas. And support Black Lives Matter, even though they're probably the most racially divisive group since the KKK and the Black Panther Party. Only the Black Panther Party hasn't been trolled out of complete relevance. So, yeah. Yeah, alright, anyway, I think I got it fixed up again for the video.
Or a woman, or air quotes minority, you have more chances to fail. Matter of fact, you're given more opportunities. You're given things that you should not get based upon your skill level, your level of education, your level of ability to perform a task. You're given much more leeway. You're given much more room to breathe, room to fail. So this whole thing right here you're talking about is a complete lie. Your answer was a lie.
You know, I mean, we experienced that.
Brian makes a really good point there, actually, because there is statistics that can verifiably support the fact that women are often given more of a chance to succeed than men in the same workplace environment. All right. Besides, there are statistics that show that if you're a married man, but not a married man, if you're a single dude, single women often make more money than you. And that verifiably more often than not, single women will get more money than you for the same job. All right, and for the supposed wage gap that everyone seems to bitch about, again, this has been thoroughly debunked by not only men, but by women. All right, it's been debunked by almost everyone with a freaking brain in their head. Because guess what? Women want more time off. They want kids. They want to get married. They want to settle down. They want to do all the types of things that men usually don't do. Well, usually don't really want to do when they want to do it. All right, men want to settle down too. Sure, I would like to settle down when I get old enough, but for one thing, I'm not really at that point. To top that off, it's just really not enough evidence to support the claim that women are getting paid less because of the supposed patriarchy, because it's just not true. And I really don't understand not only feminists, but these people all these people on the left who are trying to play identity politics. All right, as a way to basically help further the divide in this country instead of actually trying to help. Right? It's insane how many people will just say, oh, wage gap equals patriarchy, because that's not true. Alright, Brian makes Brian makes a really good point. Women are given more leeway, they're given more room, they're given more scholarships, they're given more chances to fail than a dude in the same position. Alright, I work at Walmart right now. If I screw up right now, as a temporary associate, I'm telling you, I'm going to be screwed. Alright? Because I'm a dude. Alright, now I'm not saying that this could eventually happen to me. Well, actually, no. Let me correct that. This could happen to me at one point. But this also depends on what location I would work at. Right now, I'm working at a Walmart. Manager's a woman. Not saying she's a sexist or anything. She's not, from what I know of. She's a very nice woman for what I know of. But if I were in a different position where I wasn't friendly with the manager, if I was in a bigger city, I'd probably be in the position where they would just fire me if I did something wrong as a dude. Alright, anyway, let's keep this going.
We experienced that over the last 8 years. You know, I joked when I was on the campaign trail, the bar just kept moving, you know? Just like, whoa, you meet it, and then the bar would change. Yeah.
What bar are you talking about? Like, I'm not really, that's kind of a vague statement. The bar, let's keep going and see what she says and see how she explains this.
You know, and we're seeing that now, quite frankly. The bar is just...
That's probably like a veiled shot at Trump. That's why, you know, she's doing all this, and then the crowd is laughing. They're probably all anti-Trumpers in there. Oh, and by the way, she's talking to Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes is a very famous TV executive. She was at one point on ABC. I think she may be over there still, but I'm not quite sure. But she produced shows such as Grey's Anatomy and also How to Get Away with Murder and also Scandal. the TV show which featured a black woman getting an abortion on TV. It was not real, of course, but it was a scene where she was getting an abortion, and they played like some soft music. I want to even say it was some Christian music. So that tells you who she's talking to and what kind of questions are being asked and what kind of crowd you have. But I digress.
I mean,
That bar is going places.
it is amazing.
Yeah, really, what bar? What bar is she fucking talking about? Okay, I'm telling you, since the 1960s, women are getting more and more and more and more involved in the workplace. They're getting more and more involved in education. They're getting more and more involved in places where they didn't traditionally do shit. Alright, so this idea that the bar was all of a sudden raised under her husband, when the statistics don't verify that, is just, it's simply an insult to everyone's intelligence. Even if you're a woman. Even if you're a dude. Even if you're just someone who this doesn't really apply to because you don't care or you don't participate in this kind of bullshit. Or whatever. It's inane to suggest that one man all of a sudden helped raise the bar for women as the President of the United States in an 8-year period than the entire first and second wave feminist movement over the time span of 100 years. 120. Because 1848 was really the rise of first wave feminism. So you had 1848 from 1920. That was the first wave. Then the second wave, you had, it started up in the 1960s. That's over 120 years of feminism now, and the third wave hasn't actually helped women get any more far. All right, it's all been the result of first and second wave feminism. But yet she's trying to play it like not only is her husband, not only is third wave feminism helping, but it's also her husband that is helping supposedly raise the bar for women when it's just not true. Right? Like I said, I don't know where she's getting this shit from, and I don't know if she has Alzheimer's or something. I doubt it. Alright, like I said, I'm just picking at her. I'm not actually saying like she's got some type of mental disease like Stephen King, because you don't want to formulate an argument that Trump's just basically a dumbass. You just want to say that he's mentally ill. Alright, this is what I'm saying about freaking Michelle Obama right now. I'm telling you, she is a dumbass. Alright, the statements she's saying are just so freaking dumb. If we went back the time scale to 1990, I guarantee you, no woman would have said this shit. No woman would have said this shit. Even if they were the extreme second wave feminist or rising third wave feminist, none of them would have said this shit. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
Amazing to watch. But I want women to watch this. You know, I want you all to
For
pay
what?
attention.
For what?
Because this is what happens when we don't stand up. You know, we give our seats up to somebody who's supposed to be, because of these stereotype notions of what we think power and success looks like.
I mean, you don't.
What the fuck? Okay, people didn't vote for Trump because he was some big. Well, some people did, but a good portion of people who identify as a conservative do not. I'm telling you, did not like Trump for his supposed success. Okay. Granted, I know some people did, but the majority of people who I think voted for Trump, they voted for him because they really had no choice in this election. Alright, they voted for him because they really had no choice in what to do. Alright, you either had Trump or you had Hillary, and a lot of people said, we do not want Hillary. And there's a lot of reasons to say you did not want Hillary. There's a lot of legitimate reasons to say that. Alright, and I'm not disavowing Trump for all the stupid stuff he's done. Alright, I do agree. Trump has done some really stupid shit, and he should be held accountable for his stupid shit, and should be called out on his stupid shit when he does stupid shit. But she's basically saying that women gave up their own voice. That the American people gave up their own voice because some woman didn't stand up for her husband's supposed successor. And really, this is just autism at its finest. Like I said, I'm not really calling her autistic. She's just really infuriating me and not actually giving any type of solutions to the problems that we have during the Trump presidency. All she's doing is yelling sexism and hoping this helps her political capital. That's literally it. That's literally it, and I'm sick of this bullshit.
Give up your seats. They're taken away from you. If you do not perform well at a certain thing, or in your job, or whatever, you are not going to be there for long. But like I said, women, air quotes, minorities, you have more room to fail. So if you got removed from your seat, you probably were not doing a good job at all. Whose fault is that?
Yeah, we sat at tables with people like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, you want to talk about what was the syndrome, or what was the
Imposter syndrome.
imposter syndrome? You want to talk about some imposter syndromes? I've seen imposters at a lot of tables.
Yes.
You know, and when you're at the table and you realize, oh, you are a fool, and I'm worried about raising my hand.
What?
Look, I have been at so many tables with so many fools,
Absolutely.
who were imposters.
Well, who are you to judge that? Who are you really to judge?
Yeah.
If they're at the table, who are you to judge them for what they're able to bring to the table? You don't really know that. All you know is what you think and what you feel and what you believe, not what the actual facts are. I mean, like, did you give them an IQ test right there on the spot? Have you seen their resume? Just because you think that they are a fool, does that mean that they are? It may feel the same way about you. So who's right and who's wrong? At the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. Well, let's keep going.
Yeah, it's
But
really weird.
but shame on us if we sit by and let an imposter talk us down.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
my God, for the love of Jesus Christ. Really? You're just saying that just because Trump won, that this is somehow men saying that women should be talked down to, like they're nothing but white, nothing but trash? That minorities are nothing but trash? Is that really what you think when you saw that people voted for fucking Donald Trump? Is that really what you're suggesting here? Is that really what you think? If that is, I feel really sorry for you, because you're one, a dumbass, and number two, you are just so ingrained in identity politics, you will not refer to A, the facts, or B, rational common sense to actually combat actual acts of racism. Because guess what? You keep calling out shit like this, you're gonna get more acts of racism because people are gonna think that they're getting criticized for something they didn't do, and they're gonna get driven into the arms of not only alt-right, but even worse, white fucking supremacists. So shut the fuck up, Michelle Obama. Just shut the fuck up. Okay? The only reason you are relevant right now is because people in the media like you. And like your husband. And like everything he did over his presidency. That A, not only helped divide us, but B, helped make this country a little bit worse than it was. Okay? Alright? When Obama was first elected, I was willing to give him a chance even though I did not like him. And 1 month into his presidency, not 1 month into his presidency, about a year into his presidency, I saw no real hope of anything really improving. Not only because of the stock market, not only because of all the bullshit that Obama tried to ram through, but because he just wasn't doing anything that was going to get anything done. Okay? And he didn't even focus really on these types of issues until his second term when it was politically popular to do so. So to say like he's been doing this his entire political career, not in Chicago and in the White House, it's just not true. Okay, it's just not true. It's not verifiably true. Okay, it just infuriates me. Okay, the entire Obama family, excluding the kids, because I think the kids were just raised up in a bad situation with their parents, like most kids with the political upbringing, that they really have been brainwashed or just really influenced by the actions of their parents, that they're just basically going to do whatever the hell they want. Okay. Alright. Now I agree. I get some of my politics from my parents, but when I turned 15, I came up to this political understanding of the world. I came to this understanding that basically everyone on both sides does a lot of their stupid shit. I want to call them out both for it. Now, I'm just gonna stay. I'm not gonna be a political. What's the term? I'm not gonna be a partisan douchebag like most people on both, at least some of the people on both parties are. All right, that's not. All right, I decided I did not want to do that. I did not want to become one of that. All right, and when I got to near the election, I would have had voted for Donald Trump if I was able to vote. All right, there's a lot of reasons to vote for Donald Trump. All right, any rational person could have voted for Donald Trump. The only reason people are really reacting the way they are now is because they think that the Republican Party is a bunch of racist, sexist, bigots, homophobes. And I'm just dumbfounded that people actually believe this bullshit. I'm just dumbfounded by it. Alright, let's keep it going.
On us. 'Cause at some point when you know you're right, you know what's right, and then you don't say anything, you know, you see wrong happening, and you sit by quietly because you're afraid to fail or you're afraid to. That's what.
Okay, this is basically the same argument that people try to put up about rape claims not being taken seriously. Alright, because if you don't remember, I think it was 2014, this big argument came about really rape statistics and stuff like that. And one of the big things was that, well, a lot of rapes aren't really verified because a lot of victims are afraid to come forward and actually say what happened, which I think that does happen on a regular basis. But she's saying that that women basically don't want to speak up because they don't want to get fired or something. Right, that's basically the same argument as saying that a bunch of women don't want to actually help themselves by telling someone, hey, I was raped. I know who did it. Let's get this asshole in jail. That's two completely different situations. I don't understand what logic she's bringing to the table. It's completely insane that she would suggest something like that. Alright, so she's saying that basically women are afraid, just like in a rape case, to come forward because they think they might lose their jobs. Okay, if you are a female rape victim, you get more benefits than men do. You get more shelters. You get more financial support. You get more government aid. Alright? And she's suggesting that just because a different dude is sitting in the White House, a dude who happened to have a lot of dirty shit go on in his life, that somehow, even though there's no policy being put through, that he's somehow being a racist bigot, not racist bigot, a sexist, who's infringing on the rights of women. Alright, alright. Yeah, let's keep going.
I want to challenge us as women is to speak up in all the tables that we're in, because if we don't speak up, our voices are never involved in the process of problem solving.
If you speak up, make sure you're saying the right thing. Don't just speak up just for no reason because.
Yeah, that's a really big thing. It's like if you're gonna say something, say the right thing. Say the morally responsible thing, instead of saying what a lot of Black Lives Matter radicals tend to do, which is dumbfounded strawman fallacies that have no basis in an actual argument, bringing irrelevant things into the conversation about whatever topic it may be. That's why people don't trust Black Lives Matter, and that's why people are turning away from not only race politics in and of itself, but also feminism, which is one of the reasons why Trump won. You guessed it, because people were tired of getting preached to by these same crowds. The entire intersectionality crowd that Barack Obama helped create. Alright? This is just insane.
I feel like you're a woman and you want to have somebody hear you roar.
And we don't get to the right answers without our voices.
I just moved to a company called Netflix, which
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
That's Shonda Rhimes right there.
And
A little bitty company
a
called.
little company, they're pretty good.
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
they have this idea that hard work isn't what matters.
What?
It's the quality of the work, not the quantity. So they don't
That's
need
bullshit.
to see you work from, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or midnight or whatever. They just want you to come in with quality work, which is pretty controversial. I mean, I really like it, but it's pretty controversial. What do you think of it? What does that mean for you?
Now, before she answers, I just want to say that just because you were at a place for an extended period of time does not mean you're working. You can do a lot of work in a condensed period of time. That is hard work. So, like, she's conflating different things. She's conflating the illusion of being at a place for a long time and to say that you're doing hard work because of that. You see what I'm saying? Just because you're at a place 24 hours or whatever, 20 hours, you go home for a little while, come back, you don't shave, you ain't changing your clothes, doesn't mean you're working hard. But hard work is very important. So for her to say the hard work is somehow not important and the quality of it is, doesn't really make any sense. She's conflating length of time worked to...
Yeah, that doesn't make any much sense to me. Alright, I think that if you're going to do a job, you have to do it right, or you're not right for the job at all. Alright, this is, I think, most of the working classes' general basis on this. That if you're going to work, you do it right, or if you can't do it right, you cannot have that job. Alright, you might have quality work, but if you're a lazy asshole, then it shows that you really don't have the dedication to do said work. Alright? Like I said, I could be fired for doing something stupid. Alright? I could be fired for being lazy at work. I could mess up somebody's order. I could screw up on the register, not know what to do, hold up a line for 6 hours or something. I could get fired on the spot because of it. And it's not because I was at work for 50 hours that week. It's because I screwed up, and it ended up causing a big backlog for the company that ended up losing them a lot of money. Alright, she's not really using the actual businessman log here to actually help her case. If anything, it's actually destroying that case. So anyway.
Effort put into working, that's very dangerous.
I think it's a great idea, and
No.
it makes so much sense.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, and we do this because that's one of the problems I think with our education system. It isn't
no, it's sarcastic.
individualized. That's a challenge. I mean, it's hard to do when you're educated.
Okay, do you know the problem with the education system? It's the fact that there's so much government bullshit put into it that people can't get a quality education from it because it's not only controlled by the basically funded by the federal government. It's also because teachers' unions don't want to do shit for their kids. They just want to fill their pockets up with money. Alright, like I said, this is my entire problem with unions. If you go back to my video over Las Vegas and Puerto Rico, the fucking truck union wouldn't deliver supplies because they were being assholes. Alright, if you give unions too much political power, they will use it against you in times of crisis. Alright, you saw this when the Chicago teachers walked out a few years ago of their jobs because so many people were going to charter schools and the teachers unions were walking out because they thought they would be losing their jobs. So they tried to keep themselves relevant, okay? If you do something as controversial as giving a union that much power, you are really only going to help make it worse. Alright? That is the real problem with the education center. Because not only the union control, not only the government control, it's because it's so backlogged. The quality of education is just not there. Alright, people are not actually trying to educate kids. They're trying to fill a quota. And not only is it a racial quota, it's an intelligent quota. Some type of intelligence quota. Alright, and I have had some smart kids in school who are actually pretty big overachievers. Alright? They actually tried to do things right, not what a stupid teacher tried to tell them half the time. Alright? I've had a lot of dumbass teachers. Teachers who you didn't even have to do any work. All you had to do was listen to them on a lesson and you got an 80 for the year. Alright, I did that once because that is exactly what happened to me. I actually tried to do my work, but then he started grading my shit weird, and then all of a sudden, oh hey, I have an 80. or I have close to a 90, even though we don't do anything but listen to lesson plans, and he gives us a freaking packet that we never turn in except maybe once out of the 6 weeks. Alright, so her entire conflation with the entire educational system is that it's not in being individualized. It does focus on the individual, but it does not focus on the students enough to make them good individuals.
Millions and millions of kids, but we see it in our own kids. Our kids learn differently at different paces. It doesn't make one smarter or brighter. I think it's one of the things that keeps more girls out of STEM.
Girls are not in STEM because...
No, that is some bullshit. Alright, I'm tired of this argument that men are keeping women out of STEM because the education system's crappy. No, women just aren't going into STEM. Okay? I'm telling you, you can have a lot of smart women scientists. You can have a lot of them. Okay? But to say that it's because of sexism or it's because of these things with the education system that's driving women out of STEM, no. Alright? There was like 10 posters at my school in one hallway about women getting into STEM. They actually provided more statistics on the wall about women getting into STEM than the entire federal government has under the Obama administration. Okay? They were... Alright, my school was actively encouraging women to go into STEM. Alright? And most of my teachers in math and science were women. Okay? Alright, and as I said before, just like with the wage gap, women are going into STEM because they want more off time. They'd rather work lower paying jobs, not lower paying jobs. They'll get higher paying jobs, but they want to take more time off. They don't want to focus on being a scientist. They don't want to focus generally on being these types of important people. They generally just want to settle down, have kids, marry a husband, and do financially well. And you can do that being someone from STEM, but generally, women just don't want to be in, just don't get into STEM. Alright? She's just being ridiculous. Really, really ridiculous.
You know, a lot of girls don't really like that type of field. They don't like sitting in front of the computer all day, 12 hours a day doing code. There's no way really around something like that, mathematical equations, things that require you to spend time doing it consistently. So like Shonda Rhimes talking about hard work doesn't really apply for STEM, for coding and stuff like that. Oh yes, it does. It most certainly does. Not only hard work, but working for a long period of time. Women tend to not like that kind of work. That's why you don't really see them in there. That's why.
Because I think there's some girls that learn differently. They learn at a different pace, and who cares how fast you get it done if you get to the right answer?
It does matter.
It does matter. It does matter, okay? There are time quotas. You have time limits on everything. You can't just stay on one problem for the next 5 years and expect to get a freaking high school diploma. Alright, that's complete idiocy. Okay? Yes, some people are slow. That's why we should help them. That's why we should help them, being the key word. She is not saying anything about helping those people. Alright? Just because you get the right answer because they're slow does not mean you're being efficient. Alright? You have to be not only efficient, you have to be fast in doing it. Otherwise, you're A, not going to get a really good job. B, you're probably going to end up homeless or face down in a gutter somewhere. Alright? But this is why we should be helping kids who are slow with school, alright? You have stuff like abcmouse.com. Great site. It helps lots of kids every year who have trouble learning. So, she's not advocating for this stuff. She's not actually trying to advocate for this type of stuff. She's not advocating for these online things to actually help kids. She's not advocating to try to improve our education system through actual legitimate means. She's just being a virtue signaler in every sense of the word. Well, every sense of the definition. Alright, and it's just really sad that a person like this would do that. That all this political capital.
About you have a deadline, and if you don't meet the deadline, you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Oh, it most certainly does matter how fast you get it done.
Yeah.
You can't just be coddling somebody who's not able to perform a task quickly enough just because they are of a certain identity group, woman, LGBT, so-called minority, or whatever. At the end of the day, we're talking about business. You got to be able to get stuff done, and if you can't, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think work operates under that same old theory that time in somehow means something.
Time is money.
Yeah.
I will say that. Time is money.
Time is definitely
Oh,
money.
we've all worked with people, right? We work with people.
You work with
You
your
know how
mom.
people can be, but you've seen people who could be at the office all day and get absolutely nothing done.
That's
They
fine.
don't get
You know,
screwed.
if somebody's there all day, then they're getting something done. They're just, loafing, playing on their cell phone or whatever, then that's one thing. But if they're there all day and they're being productive, then why would you downplay that? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They're there, they're showing up, but they're on their computer, and I found that I was the most productive when I was in a flex situation. When I was a vice president at the University of Chicago.
Yeah, that was her job. Yeah, university, vice president. No, she did nothing. She did literally nothing for a few years, and she got a fucking pay raise. Alright, because she was focusing on her fucking husband's political fucking career. They ended up getting him elected. Okay? So whatever she's saying here is completely bullshit. Alright? Alright, there's a book called The Case Against Barack Obama, well, not the case, but there's a book that I read in 11th grade. This book about everything wrong with Obama before his bid for election. All the bullshit that he got to in Chicago politics, everything's wrong with everything his wife had done at the University of Chicago is well documented that she did absolutely nothing there. She did absolutely nothing. But she got a fucking pay raise from that university because of political pressure. That is honestly my take on it. They got so much political pressure just because she was the husband of Barack Obama, who's preparing the new hot sex thing, without actually being a sex thing. She just doesn't know that, or she does know, which in this situation she definitely knows, and she just won't admit it because she doesn't A, want to alienate her base, so they'll come crawling back to her anyway, or B, she's just really, 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 really bad at virtue signaling.
Skittles. I had both kids. Barack was in the Senate.
Question: how much does a senator job pay?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, okay, why are you working with 2 kids and you got babysitters and stuff like that while your husband is a senator? I mean, if it was me and I was a senator, my wife wouldn't work. I mean, that's just me, but maybe you don't get paid that much for being a senator. I don't know. Like, somebody please explain to me. Was he like in the was he in the big Senate at this point? He had to have been in the national Senate. I don't think he was in like the local, like the state Senate. If they, I think that he was making a lot of money at that point. So why was she working as well as him?
Yeah.
But I digress.
He wasn't home mostly during the week. My day would be, I got up at 5 in the morning to work out. My mom would come over.
You got up at 5 in the morning to work out? Jeez, overachieves much? If you're really gonna work out, do it during the day. Do it at night. Don't do it at 5 fucking o'clock in the morning. That's just inefficient with your time. Do it when you actually have time. Don't do it in the morning so you'll wake up and then you'll go to work more exhausted if you did actually do work. Which I don't think she really did much work. Right? I've never heard someone say shit this dumb at some type of conference like this. I just don't know. I don't know anymore. It's like I've lost all feeling in my I feel like I lost all feeling in my brain. And I can't form words anymore. I can't form coherent words now because she's pissed me off so much at how fucking dumb she is. Alright, as much as people like to brag on Trump, on how bad Trump's intelligence is, how the fuck did she graduate from a university? How the fuck?
Babysitter that didn't drive, I mean, you all can relate to this. I
can't relate.
Babysitter who didn't drive.
What you want to say is you had a nanny. That's what you want to say. Somebody that's there at the house,
Watching over your
basically
kids.
playing the mother role while you are at work. No, I
Yeah.
cannot relate to that, Miss Michelle Obama. I can't. But I digress again.
I
Done
can't.
with that.
I can't. I was raised by,
So
by
I would
my
work
parents and my
out, come
stepdad.
back home, take a shower,
And my
mom would get the
grandparents.
kids in breakfast. I'd get them in the car, do 2 separate drop-offs. Fortunately, the school was in the we were in the neighborhood where my job was, in the girls' school, where it was the only reason why this was possible. Drop them off, get to the office, walk from the parking lot because I had a parked car, had to get work done.
What? Really? You're gonna bitch about your parking space as being